Jai Gurudev. Good. Could you meditate? Is it happening or you get lost in thoughts? But at least the prana, are you doing the Dwadashanto and that is happening? Yeah. And when that happens, you're not thinking, right? You're just focusing on that. Did you notice you can't think?
It's hard to.
Yeah, it's very hard to think while you're focusing on the prana. Now the subtler part of the prana is the one that I explained today. Yeah, from the navel, the moment the navel goes out, it's almost like a gush of prana that goes down.
I feel it's almost like a tingling sensation.
Yes.
Interesting, it's there, right? Like it's about the focusing on that energy because it's going down. You can feel that pressure going down. But sometimes we're not even aware of that.
Yes.
That sensation.
Yes. The more subtle you become, the more subtle you become, yeah, it's very easy to see that flow of energy. So, how this helps us in our daily life? The moment you get angry outside, you've actually gotten angry inside like at least 5 minutes before. Inside you'll start experiencing all that happening. Yes. Then all that sensation feeds into the brain. The brain decides I'm going to say this and I'm not going to say this and I'm going to react like this. And these are the words I'm going to use. And then you open your mouth and react.
But to your point, that's where it's getting easier to control. The entire thing is happening within, and I know we have to get to the point of not happening at all. But I'm just being personal, it doesn't happen all the time. But I can see that whole thing playing out in my head, and then I start to think, like I'm not the doer, that other person's not the doer, and then there's no reaction, which is a big stretch for me. I've been a very reactive person all my life, so for me to have that just be internal is
perfect.
Is
Very
amazing.
nice. Very nice. Are you feeling
Absolutely,
the same?
that Sakshi Bhav just kicks in. Oh no, this is all just me thinking. It's not true. So a lot of times I can stop it at the internal level. Yeah.
Very nice.
I guess it should stop. Even the internal
Exactly.
churning should stop also at some time.
Now that is the biggest challenge. That is sensation. Sensations are happening from where? From your memory.
Impressions.
That's why you said let them go. Good or bad, let them go.
I hold on to a memory. No? 2013. Happy memory. I've held on to it. And now it is so dear to me. It is somewhere deep down. I'm not thinking about it every now and then. But if somebody says something to that episode of 2013, what happens? Because of that stored memory, a sensation kicks in. How dare this person say bad to that? You see what I'm saying? Yeah?
It's very strange. Like sometimes very old memories which were like gone years ago. Something that comes up sometimes. It's while meditation. That's
So there are 3 levels of memories. I don't know, I've not done it with
And I
them.
really get mad, like, why is this memory coming? And why is it ruining my meditation?
Conscious, subconscious, I'm not writing the whole word, and unconscious. 3 levels in memory. 7 5s are?
35.
From where did this come? Was it in my conscious?
No, subconscious.
It was in my subconscious. I have studied this in the past, and it's somewhere stored within. Yeah, but why is it not unconscious and why is it subconscious? Tell me.
It can be brought out by will.
Everything was learned. All memories were learned. I see somebody, oh, this person is Rajesh. This is also learned.
Unconscious is it like, even if you're like in coma or if you're sleeping, then only
Unconscious could also be from your past lifetime that you don't remember.
Perfect. Yeah.
It could be the same lifetime, right? But you not remember Like,
Yeah.
Or some
same.
impression which you didn't realize that has
Yeah,
become
I
an
totally
impression.
forgot and it's
Yes.
coming back like a
Yes.
flash.
Like something which is just as an impression, just like a seed in your consciousness, but not like an image in your consciousness. Do you understand difference between seed and image? Image, I have an image of 7 5s are 35 in my head.
Uh-huh.
Unconscious memory, I don't have an image. I don't have a name. I don't have a form in my head. That's how you distinguish between subconscious and unconscious. No name, no form, no image. Nothing at all. So because of memory, what happens? Sensations kick in. So, okay, if I become a Buddha, what happens to all these memories? Doesn't the Buddha realize or have a memory? Doesn't he remember 7 5s or 35?
I still have it.
They all become conscious, I guess.
There are no sensations. They don't
Yeah,
translate
it's
into
emotions.
sensations.
There's a-
sensation.
Yeah, a memory which kicks in the sensation that connection is cut off. Yeah, because why we are so attached to memory is because we still think this is real. This is mine. I like it. My family. That attachment is there in different ways. Yes. Buddha realizes this is all a dream. Do you remember your dreams? Are they even in your unconscious? What happens to dreams? How they come up and how they go. Have you ever thought about this? So you never attach to a dream, correct? Exactly like that the Buddha lives. Exactly like that Gurudev lives. Everything is a dream. Meeting people, being here, doing this, doing that, whatever he's doing, all activities he's doing fully. So 100% Gurudev is there. So much love, so much affection for everybody. And then the moment he's gone from here, it's wiped off. Just like you don't hold on to a dream like that. Maybe for a day you remember, oh, I saw this person in my dream, or I saw this person with wings in my dream, or something weird you see. For a day you remember, but it's gone. Line on water. Got it? That's how you should start living. Everything is a dream. Everything is a dream. This person in my life is a dream.
So do they have, like, when you go somewhere or something, it may trigger a thought. So those thoughts will still be triggered. It's just that emotional connection.
Exactly.
That thought that is completely gone.
So like in a dream, you actually experience intense fear, intense passion, intense hatred. Everything is really real. Yeah, but the moment it's over, you get up and you, oh, that was weird. And you drop it. Got it? That dropping is so natural. Yes, but I hold on to something in real life. Why? Because I call this real and I call that a dream. A realized one knows this is a dream. All this is a dream. And my sister has been teaching us from the beginning. This is a dream, this is a dream inside a dream. No. Maybe somewhere my sister's wrong and I'm right. How can this be a dream? Yeah, this holding on tendency of the mind, yeah, is what is causing us to experience these sensations. Yeah? That day when all this drops off, your sensations will drop off. Yeah? You just have those basics, whatever cold, hot, whatever Rajas Tamas Sattva brings your way. No emotional connect will bring sensations.
It's so true. Today we came and we were rejoicing in the memories of the good memories from 2013. And it took some time to settle down in meditation. We experienced a good, happy place, right? But it's still like that Sthita Pragya was gone.
Yeah,
We had
takes
moved
you
up.
Yeah.
And it took some time for the mind to settle down.
Yes.
because my memory was there.
What am I going to do? I'm doing but this is going to carry along.
Yeah. So recognize this. Even memories on each level have types. Yeah, like the way past memory or the recent past or just today's memories. Yeah, I will remember what I ate today in the morning. Yeah, till the end of the day. By the time tomorrow comes and the same morning memory is overlapped by another morning breakfast. The lunch memory is overlapped by another lunch, and this goes away. Yeah, so there are different levels of memory also. We'll study this Buddha weekend. Okay. But recognize why you are experiencing sensations. Yeah, so homework number 1. Again and again recognize this is a dream and drop. Drop. All this attachment to this person and that thing and that situation, drop. And your major attachment has started with all spiritual, on the spiritual path also.
Yeah.
There also recognize. Yeah. Initial, it's okay, initially it's good to take you away from, yeah, but here also don't get so strong into your ragas and dveshas. Otherwise here also you're doing the same thing.
Just what's the examples of conscious memory?
A conscious memory, like I'm really conscious about what I did this morning, yeah, from where I came, how I drove, very conscious, really there in my head right now. Yeah. Unconscious was the 7 5s are, yeah, like
Subconscious.
subconscious, or a poem you like, or muhavra, dialogues from film, songs. How do you remember songs? They're sitting in your subconscious. You're not conscious.
So when you get into eternity process, it is a mix of both subconscious and
It's
unconscious.
mostly unconscious.
Mostly
It
unconscious.
fathoms the previous lifetime. It takes you from this life, it takes you to the previous 6 lifetimes, not necessarily consecutive, but those which really had a major impact on you. Some major fear from that life, some major hatred from that life, some major love or passion from that life, and you'll be able to connect it to this life. Go ahead. Did you do your half page? I told you to read half the page. 3rd paragraph से start करते हैं. Page 247, 3rd paragraph. Who's going to read?
Will it come there if we read from here?
Huh?
Oh no, Jabra is not there. You'll have to come.
Yeah, I have to go in front.
I can read.
Okay. You read.
Page 247, paragraph
3.
3.
O Rama, this house.
O Rama, this house known as the body has not been made by anyone in fact. Dreams are real during the dream state. Even so, the body is real when it is experienced as a real substance. The notion of I am this body arises in relation to what is truly a piece of flesh with bones, etc., because of a mental predisposition. It is an illusion. Abandon this illusion. There are thousands of such bodies which have been brought into being by your thought force. When you are asleep and dreaming, you experience a body in the dream. Where does that body arise or exist?
Okay. So the first paragraph is about how you came into existence. Yeah, how you said an I, and that I said I want this physical body, and then you came into that. Yeah? Now, because of that first birth, I collected impressions. Those impressions are nothing but again a wish. It is a wish to again come back in a different form. So then you come back in another form and then another form. So your thought force has led to this body, that body. So this house known as the body has not been made by anyone in fact. Dreams are real during the dream state. even so the body is real when it is experienced as a real substance. So what does this mean? That when you die, the first revelation is, oh, I am not this body anymore. And if you are not aware, if you are not on the path, you will not be able to see your body lying down. You will still think you are alive and try to run and do things. That recognition of death does not happen to somebody who's not on the path. On the path does not mean only on spiritual path. There are people who are elevated without following a guru, without reading the scriptures. You must have seen really elevated people. They are genuinely good natured, very good hearted people. Simple people, just helping others, lovely people, happy people. They are very conscious, they are very aware, naturally. And they can recognize. So those people also, I would say, are on the path. The people who are not on the path are the ignorant, totally lost in the Maya. And totally, in fact, against, anti-good. They just want to do negative. Everything is for I and me and mine. That is lost in ignorance. So, even so, the body is real when it is experienced as a real substance. So, till I am alive, I will keep thinking, I am this body, I am this body. The moment the body is fallen, a first revelation comes, oh, that is Ekta. I am not Ekta. That was Ekta. That first revelation, as in a proper grounding happens. Proper understanding. Till now it is just words. Till now it is somebody else telling you. It's like suddenly experiencing what Vasistha has been telling you. Suddenly knowing what Gurudev has been telling you. Got it?
I have a question. So over the weekend you said you don't have impressions of death. So wouldn't this experience leave an impression or no?
You cannot experience death because you don't die. The body dies. So what is our fear? I'm going to experience something really bad and some pain, and then I'm going to die, and then I'm going to experience that nothingness, whatever, that pain, or I don't know what else people think, that you're going to get removed from the body, or some weird concepts are there. You don't experience it. That's what I've always been saying. Before the body falls, you faint. Like you must have fallen sometimes in school, or really like when you fainted, you just pass out. You don't even realize the pain. The doctor probably gave you an injection, did things to you. And then suddenly you come back to consciousness. It's like that. It's like nature's way of giving you anesthesia. It is called nature's anesthesia in Sanskrit in the texts.
So you wouldn't collect impressions because you are unconscious.
Because you're unconscious.
But that experience of, oh, I'm no longer the body after death you cannot accumulate impressions after the body is fallen off.
No, it's gone. No, it's done. So the death process is over. Now you're on the other side. It's now on the other side. It's just the process of accepting, I'm no more, or that body is no more.
So nature's anesthesia is just that point between that being in part of the body and that separation that you're talking about, where you just look upon your body.
Yes. So in some scriptures it is said that it is a painful process. That is why nature has come up with this nature's anesthesia. And this is done twice for you. Once at birth, once at death. That is why you do not experience the pain of birth. Your mom experiences the pain, but you don't remember anything. You don't have an experience. You come out and then you start breathing. Then you start crying. Till that time there is no experience. So it's called nature's anesthesia. And that's where actually the ancient doctors, whoever got the idea of anesthesia. Even the thought of how can I make you conscious to cut you and repair your body, even this thought, the first thought came from this idea of nature's anesthesia.
Like sometimes you also give the example कि जब injection लगना है, so sometimes people just get so nervous and so इतना ज़्यादा होता है कि उनको पता भी नहीं चलता कि लग गया, it's all over and all done.
Yeah.
और like बच्चों को you put stitches in the kids अगर तो वो they are so nervous, they are just so crying और ये वो और सब खत्म हो जाता है, उनको कुछ पता है and they're like हो गया because they are like just so much out of it.
Yeah. That is your natural out of body experience, really. The notion of I am this body arises in relation to what is truly a piece of flesh with bones, etc., because of a mental predisposition. It is an illusion. Abandon this illusion. It is, what is the mental predisposition? That first I, when I came out from the pool of consciousness and I identified with something and said, I want to be this. That is a mental predisposition, or that strong impression is there in us. There are thousands of such bodies which have been brought into being by your thought force. When you are asleep and dreaming, you experience a body in the dream. Where does that body arise or exist? Yeah? So again he's telling you the same thing we started our discussion with.
It's all dream.
It is all a dream. Yeah? One day we'll wake up and we'll be like, oh, I made such a big drama out of nothing. So, you want to go ahead?
This is wealth, this is body, and this is a nation. All these are notions, O Rama. Know this to be a long dream, or a long-standing hallucination, or daydreaming, or wishful thinking. When, by the grace of God, or the Self, you attain awakening, you will then see all this clearly. I remarked that I was born of the mind of the Creator. Even so, the world arises in the mind as a notion. In fact, even the Creator is but a notion in the cosmic mind. The world appearance, too, is a notion in the mind.
Okay, this also we have done. So Creator here is Brahma. Yeah? And Brahma is at the lower loka than the Brahman consciousness. So anybody who has this very strong thing of I want to be the creator, I want to be the ruler of the world, collects such an impression and can in a future yuga say, I want to be the first one out, and comes out really out of that pool of consciousness first and says I want to be the creator, and that is Brahma. Then from there the other lokas come out. Again, these are just descriptions of what really happens. Yeah? So don't hold on to stories and imagine things like I've been telling you. But it is just that first I that comes out of the pool of consciousness becomes Brahma. Again, he's repeated, this is wealth, this is body, this is the nation, all this is notions. Know this to be a long dream, or a long-standing hallucination, or daydreaming, or wishful thinking. When by the grace of God or the Self you attain awakening, you will then see this clearly. I remarked that I was born of the mind of the Creator. Even so, the world arises in the mind as a notion. In fact, even the Creator is but a notion in the cosmic mind. So mind of the Creator is separate, cosmic mind is separate. Yeah? Cosmic mind they are calling the pool of consciousness, call that the cosmic mind. From that came the Creator. Then the Creator's mind is there, where he says, I want to do this, I want to be this, I want to create that. And that's how the rest of
It's
it
very
is.
logical, right? You have the first I, first small ego, it has not created anything. Then the I starts hallucinating, oh, this. So then you go down the chain
Yes, perfect.
from there.
In fact, even the creator is but a notion in the cosmic mind. The world appearance too is a notion.
If a man resolutely seeks the source of the notions, he realizes consciousness. Otherwise, he experiences the illusory world appearance again and again. For by continually entertaining notions such as, this is it, this is mine, this is my world, they assume the appearance of substantiality. The permanency of the world is also an illusion. In the dream state, what is really a brief moment is experienced by the dreamer as a lifetime. In a mirage, only the illusory water is seen and not the substratum. Even so, in a state of ignorance, one sees only the illusory world appearance but not the substratum. However, when one has shed that ignorance, the illusory appearance vanishes. Even the man who is normally subject to fear is not afraid of an imaginary tiger. The wise man, who knows that this world is not but a notion or imagination, is unafraid of anything. When one knows that the world is nothing but the appearance of oneself, of whom need one be afraid? When one's vision is purified by inquiry, one's deluded understanding concerning the world vanishes.
Okay. So how can you get out of the illusion? Only if there is a conscious effort from your side to seek what is the root cause of this. If you don't make that effort, it's not happening. That's why the first line is, if a man resolutely seeks the source of the notions, he realizes consciousness. Yeah, it's simple. In the world, you want money, you have to work hard for it. Yeah, you want babies, you have to find an appropriate partner. You want your $1 million, you have to find an appropriate way to get it. Whatever you're doing, name, fame, you have to work. Similarly, even on the spiritual side, yeah, you have to make a conscious effort to know the root cause of whatever your notions are. If you don't make an effort, if it's just like, passing fancy, just for time pass, if you're not making that effort, you will not see yourself progress. Must have observed this, no? Many years initially, it was just like, yeah, fun, come, do kriya, enjoy, do satsang, potluck, इसलिए जा रहे हैं kriya पे. Yeah, इसलिए satsang पे जा रहे हैं because there is potluck. Yeah, there's food to eat. That's why I'm going for satsang. There was no genuine thirst from within. Yeah, that genuine thirst is required on this path. Otherwise, nothing happens. We've seen that. So many people on this path for years and years. Yeah. Here, why? Oh, because Prashanjit is coming, I can get chance to chat with him. That's why you're going for Kriya. That's why you're going for Satsang. See why you're going. Yeah. Do I have that thirst? Why are you coming to knowledge sessions? Is it a genuine thirst? If others were not there and just you were alone and that knowledge, would you go? Ask yourself. This is really a question for self-introspection. In Purana Zamana, my mom and my nani type people, that aged ka people, oh, I go to satsang to see, what new sari she's bought. Like, what? What a reason to go to satsang. No, if I go to satsang, then, my friend says, oh, I'm such a good person. Pat yourself on the back. Nobody's patting, you only pat. Check. Really, inner check. That thirst is there to know yourself. then it's not about a satsang or kriya or a knowledge session. Then at home also you will have this thirst, pick up and understand on my own. Not just this, anything, any book, any scripture. When thirst is there, you check. That is required. That is what really propelled me. I'm telling you from my experience. Yeah? Till that thirst is not there, you will not see progress. When I got pushed by my own thirst so hard, it was so strong, it was like everything else is secondary. This is what I really want to do. Even if parents and family members, they convince you, oh, this is important in life, this is important. You're like, okay, you're younger, you do things, but that thirst keeps kicking from inside. Are you seeing what I'm saying? That thirst is important. Yeah? And irony of everything, you won't be able to push yourself. It's a thirst that comes. You cannot fake it. You cannot, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah? It's a very natural thing. Yes. So once it is there, you don't suppress it. Then you flow with it. Yeah, otherwise what we say, oh, first this is important, then this is important, that is important. We don't give importance to our thirst. That is where we fall. That is a big, क्या बोलते हैं?
Pitfall.
खंडा.
Mahati
Pitfall.
vinashtati.
Mahati vinashtati. Big pitfall. Don't ever not listen to your thirst. It is there, let it, like a fire, just ignite and burn more. That is the only thing that will take you ahead. Yes? That's why he says resolutely. What is resolution?
Something firm.
Very firm. A firm conviction, a determination. That is very important. See, his choice of words also are perfect. He never chooses even one word which is not. It might be very complicated English and a repetitive English, but the words will be perfect. Yeah, resolution is required. If a man resolutely seeks the source of notions, he realizes consciousness. Otherwise, he experiences the illusory world appearance again and again. Yeah? So there is one experience which you are having of husband, wife, family members, everybody. There is another experience you are having in your own head about husband, wife, family, friends. Are you seeing what I'm saying? These two experiences are different. Yeah? This one in the middle, this rosy one that I have created, is a bigger problem than these people outside. If you manage to cut this one off, this will not be a problem. Are you getting what I'm saying? Yeah? It's not something which can be put into words very easily. You know you do it. Yeah? Your family member is a particular way. In reality, in your head, that person is in a...
Imagine that he or she is like this and this is why it's happening. And
Yes.
That's where the emotions and the attachments, expectations
Yeah.
all get come in.
You
Otherwise,
Connected
it's
the person to that emotion.
Right,
yeah. Otherwise, it's just an interaction with something.
Yes.
But here we have all these.
So I am actually interacting to the image of that person, not really to that person.
And that image that I have, it may not be a real image.
Exactly.
And that's like what you said last time, no relations, there is no relations. Like cut off the relations.
Can you do that? Yeah. Be friendly with all, but not
with my own.
related. No relationship with anybody. Yeah. It's a very
Very tough.
dicey, yeah.
You get attached easily once you're
friendly with them.
So what are you really attached to? My image of this person really. That person might not be like that. But I think this person is like that. I want this person to be like that. So in my head, I create a nice Manohar Kahani of my own about that other person. Have you noticed this? So I am actually attached to my Manohar Kahani, not to that person.
Also
That
the labels, right?
The
Yes.
labels.
Label of husband, wife, mother, father, brother. So that label is there. So you're attached to that label, and this is how it should be.
And
Part
not
one,
that the
do not
label is
label person.
how you visualize a husband or a wife or a daughter, right? 'Cause
yes.
it's not just the label, it's like, when they say, what's your ideal man? We all have an ideal something in our head, and then we just start to transpose that on the people in our lives. And when that doesn't happen, doesn't meet, that's where all the attachment and the ragas and dveshas and emotional outbursts all happen.
I think we do it most with our kids, right?
Yes.
I have imagined what my kid is going to do.
Exactly. My kid
Grow up
should
and
be like this.
do
And I
this.
already start seeing something in him like that.
Yeah.
He's not really like that. He's going to be an athlete. I want him to be an athlete. But I already start seeing that dreamy thing in him or her. But he's not really like that. Same thing happens when you start dreaming. Subbu is like that. And Subbu dreams that Jayashree is like that. We don't really see.
That is not
We're
like
gonna be
that.
dreaming
Then
about each other
disappointed.
tonight.
The dream Jayashree and the dream Subbu are not really there. So the real Jayashree wants to meet the dream Subbu, but the real Jayashree meets the real Subbu, and that's
ये क्या हो गया?
Isn't this not? This is also true about things. Like some
Anything.
people are like, apple is the best. Like apple is like
Exactly.
you just you
Yes.
start identifying with the idea of something than with something.
That is called a notion. This dream-like thing that I'm living in is a notion. This in-between world that I've created. Yeah, it's in between me and the real world, actually. Are you seeing this? This in-between world is my world of notions. And it's very subtle, very delicate. Not everybody can understand this. But you're getting what I'm saying
Yeah.
exactly?
Mhm.
So for every relationship, any object you have it, you like the memory is relation to that object. That is in between. You have
No,
your own.
not even memory. How I think this
This person.
person is.
But how that person is decides based on your experiences and memories, right?
Not necessarily. In my own head, I have a fancy for how I want this
This person.
person to be.
Fantasy.
Fantasies.
And I've already labeled that this person is like this. And that is my problem. I hold on to this expectation of this notion. But the real person I don't want to see. That is why when relationships break up, they cannot really see it coming. Why? Because they're not looking at the real person. They're looking at the person they want the other person to be. Take your mind back. Take your mind back to, you must have had one breakup. College days, the first sweetheart.
Maybe one-sided.
One-sided.
Even now,
One-sided never breaks. One-sided never breaks.
The notion is more predominant there. You broke up with an imaginary person.
वो जो मनोहर कहानी क्रिएट की थी माइंड में, she will be like this, then she will say I love you, and she will come to me, and she will like me, and next day you see her walking with some other guy, and your heart broken. You become Devdas for such a long time. Why? Because your notion of the person broke. The person was who she or he was. You getting this?
this is very interesting, right? So the person being there is already part of our illusion. We've already created that because they're past lifetimes. And within that illusion, like the dream within a dream, this notional level is like a more subtle level, where these impressions are already here. And on top of that, I'm creating this notion of how I want those interactions to be.
Yes.
So it's almost like I'm creating like a double layer of karma in the process, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. Yes,
So
that
interesting.
is what Buddha says. You are not aware. You're not 100% here. You're not seeing the situation as it is. You're not looking at the person as he or she is. Got it? That is the meaning of being in the present
Present.
moment.
That's why Guruji says it's deep.
And that also is exactly what you keep saying, right? What is not what you want it to be.
Correct.
Yeah.
What is this? Yeah.
Yeah. So recognize notional level, and now the root of this notion.
Yeah, that's
What is that line?
Because of notion.
Just one thing I've taken so long to explain.
What is the root called? Source of the
What is the source of the notions? Got it? That source of the notions is nothing but my own expectation in my mind, how I want him or her to be, or this situation to be, or this computer or this thing to be. You have a particular computer, you think it's going to live forever. And the day it breaks, suddenly your heart breaks. Big notion about things also.
I should not get any traffic on the way.
Freeway.
Yeah, so everything we have a particular notion. This is how it should taste.
Yes.
Even though it doesn't taste good, because you have an idea it should taste good, it starts tasting good.
Yes, sometimes you eat food like that. This is so weird. Yeah, wake up. It's like in waking state we are sleeping. We are not awake. We are lost in that in-between notional world that we have created. This is very important and very subtle. So homework number 2. You keep recognizing every time you give birth to a new notion. You say in your mind, oh, this sabzi is going to taste awesome. I know it. I know it. अभी टेस्ट भी नहीं किया, मुंह में डाला भी नहीं. I know it. ब्रिजमोहन गए, अरे खाना तो यहाँ परफेक्ट होने वाला है. अरे अभी खाया भी नहीं, ऑर्डर भी नहीं किया.
It's the best restaurant.
See, like that.
It's such a good point because we don't listen to people truly because we're constantly making assumptions about what it is.
Perfect. This is where the issues start in relationships. Somebody is saying something to me, but I am already thinking he's going to say this or what he means by that. I'm not purely listening to his statement. I'm listening to what my mind thinks he wants to say. That's where the miscommunication happens. And you say, aren't you listening? Can't you hear what I'm saying? Yeah.
We
So
don't have patience for it anymore. We just want to go work with our assumptions and that has to be right.
yes.
And then sometimes you hear what he says person says, means this way. Our mind says, no, it actually is
Meaning this way. Even
This-
in knowledge now you all have started doing that. Have you recognized this? In the previous Bhagavad Gita, the one before you all, I was saying God is not the creator, He is the creation. And what were the people hearing? She does not believe in God.
We spent an evening
Full evening I'm explaining the same thing. Again they come, somebody else in the room says the same thing. I'm like, are you listening to what I am saying? Full evening, full Friday evening went only in this discussion. She's saying don't pray, there is no God. She's an atheist. This is what they're thinking. And I'm saying God is not the creator, God is the creation himself. वो second sentence तो खा ही जाते हैं.
Well, first we had to get there.
See this, we don't really listen. This is our problem. That is why miscommunications happen at work also. Yeah? So much you want to say in a particular way and you land up saying in a different way because of your own notions. Yeah? And then somebody says something, I don't listen to that, but I listen to what I think he is saying. So much Gucci. Yeah? Recognize this. This we are doing in emails also now. I write an email thinking the other person will understand what I am saying. And then the other person comes back with a question. And then you start wondering, wasn't my first email clear enough? No, it wasn't clear, boss. Yeah? I always, sometimes because I have a team that I manage as a project manager, so I always tell them, always start with the other person does not know what you are doing. Though you guys are all on the same project, developing the same application, still how will Venkat know what work Mitesh is doing? Or what have I assigned to Mitesh? And how will Mitesh know what Venkat is supposed to be doing? Be very clear in your communications. Start with the other person does not know. So how will you write your email? You will start with this needs to be done this way because point A, point B, point C. Therefore, reiterate at the bottom, this needs to be done this way. So the other person doesn't come back with an email and your time is saved.
We live in a world of Twitter, right? How many letters are allowed in the Twitter?
140.
140. Everything has to be fast and concise. Short.
Yeah.
Understood.
Yeah, but then that's where the miscommunications happen at work. And I tell them, the same thing you all are communicating, you've taken 8 hours to complete this thing, it could have been done in half an hour. Yeah? Just because you're in different countries, you have to be extra vigilant about what you're putting in an email. The same thing. It's the notion. Oh, he knows what he's supposed to know. No, boss, he is having his own problems. He's thinking about his wife, his child. He's reading your email, didn't get it. Back, forth. How many times it happens? Yeah. Cut the notional world that you're creating. Yeah. Every moment, wake up. Before taking an action, wake up. Am I awake enough? Am I awake enough? Am I listening? Am I talking correctly? Yeah. Moment to moment to moment. This will not only help you at work, it will help you with your family also. Yeah. I'm sure Sujay must be coming to you. Dad, you just don't listen to me. What am I saying and what are you doing? Yeah. Parents have this complaint with, and kids have this complaint with parents, you're never listening to me. We really never listen. We assume more about kids. Stop assuming. That is the notional world. Yeah? Source is my own expectation, assumption, imagination. I don't think there is a fourth. Now he says, if you do not cut the source of notions and if you do not realize consciousness, otherwise he experiences the illusory world appearance again and again. You will keep coming back again and again. For by continually entertaining notions such as this is it, this is mine and this is my world, they assume the appearance of substantiality. Got it? They just appear to be substantial. They are not really like that. But because I am holding on to my own Manohar Kahani in my mind, it appears real to me. Yeah. So even in a crumbling relationship, because I am thinking all these rosy things about the relationship, I don't really see what it is. Yeah. And then I'll get a heart attack the day the other person says, I'm walking out. Why did this happen? Because I was living in my notional world. And that notional world actually separates you from the other person. It becomes the reason for no connection. A proper connection happens when this notional world is not there between you and the other person. Yeah, there is clarity. You both see it as it is. Yeah, it enhances your relationship. So look into your relationships. If there is a particular relationship which is going downhill, check, why is this going downhill? What is going wrong in this relationship? Is it because of our own notions in the middle? My notions and the other person's notions. Two big worlds sitting in the middle of the two of us. How are we going to bridge this gap? Yeah. So see this, very important. Take it as homework number 3. 3, no?
Yeah.
Check. Really introspect. Look at your relationship with everybody. Husband, wife, child, parent, family members.
So if you connect this with what you said last time, the love-hate combination, the hatred part probably comes from this notion.
Notion. Where is her painting?
Give it to her.
The painting. Sujaya made this beautiful, no? So remember we did this last time? Yeah? Suppose we take white as the good and the black as the bad. Yeah? If I really love somebody, my love is never 100%. Yeah, there is one tiny little area, or say 10% of hatred is there even in the person in that most lovable relationship of mine. Yeah? Now the root cause of this hatred is in this notional world. Yeah? Because I was stuck in my notions, I was hanging on to my expectations, that person did not fulfill it. How much ever time that was your relationship with that person did not fulfill it, that happened, and because of that this black part increased. Are you seeing this? Yeah. So really, if I want to work on a relationship and make it pure, what do I have to cut out? The notional part in between. Yeah?
So is it just by recognizing it and being aware? It's like you say, it's very tricky, it's very subtle to figure out this is actually the notion and not what it is. So you just the whole keep concentrating and making sure, understand this is the notion, right?
Yes.
That's the only way.
Yes. It's like, suppose you're not understanding some mathematical puzzle. How you make an effort, no? What is this? How is this then? How is this? Take your mind back to the way you did mathematics. It's almost like that. You have to make an extra effort to really understand, is this how Mitesh is, or is this the way I think Mitesh is? Or is this the way I want Mitesh to be? Or is this the way I am interpreting what Mitesh's action is, but not looking at the action purely? Kitna possibilities, no, of notions in the middle.
I also realized that I have a notion of myself also.
Yeah.
Yes, you do.
It's like an expectation you have of
Yeah,
yourself.
this, I am like this. I come across, I like this. It's on me also.
So you have many faces. I'll tell you another example. I don't know if I'll ever complete this page today.
No rush, take your time.
Now we are 10 people here. Yeah, 12 people here. The way you are here with 12 people, yeah, is very different how you are with just one other person, and then when you're just by yourself. Now these 12 people are not family members. Assume you all are not from the same family. Your behavior is different here. This only 12 people are all your family members, relatives. You're a different person. Yeah? Suppose we are all sitting here and by mistake you kick somebody. Yeah? And that person starts screaming or shouting at you. Suppose we are outside in public and that person starts screaming and shouting at you. First, what do you think? You don't think about what the person is saying or what. You're thinking about these 11 people thinking about me when this person is shouting at me.
So self-conscious.
Yeah, so there is this one layer of notional world, yeah, where I am thinking about what these 11 friends are thinking about me. Yeah, another scenario where these are not friends but family, real close family, and the same situation happens. You kick somebody, you hit somebody, that person screams at you. See how you are thinking about what these family members are thinking, and your reaction will be totally different. Noticed? Yeah. Well, chalo, these people know me like this, so I have the right to react like this now, which I would have not done with 11.
Strangers.
Are you seeing this? So I have various layers of notions about myself. The way I am with family, the way I am with not so close friends, the way I am with art of living is a separate notion, the way I am with absolute strangers on the road. Now this was just general public. You would say everything bad in the world to that person and return home. Who knows me? Nobody knows me. They won't even remember me. है कि नहीं?
Yeah.
Like दिल वाले दुल्हनिया ले जाएंगे. Only to come back in the same one.
This is where the ego from last week comes in, right? We build up all these layers of how we want to be perceived. And we tend to drop those layers, and so if our most base, authentic layer is to give gali, then that comes out, right?
Absolutely.
When we're by ourselves.
Yeah.
Or it would be that we treat it gently, but those layers is what is, it's all image management because of the ego.
Absolutely, absolutely. Beautifully put. Yeah, recognize how you dress up at home when there's nobody. How you dress up when you come to Art of Living. How you dress up on a day when you are not doing a live yoga Vasistha like in your pajamas, how you are.
We were wearing a pajamas and we wear something nice on top.
Camera में सिर्फ इतना दिखता है.
Hey, careful यार.
Yeah, I just have a shawl around.
देखो कितने notions हैं बीच में, कितना. Yeah, I have only self-created notional world. Yeah, so recognize this. So the first part of the homework was between you and other people, no? Now between you and you only.
This kind of reinforces, right? It's our made up stuff.
All made up stuff.
The whole dream thing is so reinforcement. It's just our own hallucination world we have created.
It also makes me think of how far we have moved away from our true selves. And you talked about being authentic and honest, right? With getting ready for Buddha. And we are so far removed from our true self. We don't recognize it anymore.
Absolutely.
It takes so much to get to it.
Pure.
Meditation is the only way to connect
No.
with yourself.
Not just meditation. How will my meditation become deep if I don't have a little bit of peace? If my mind is totally lost in Maya, I will not be able to go deeper into my meditation. For some time I need that little dispassion from Maya to be able to even close my eyes and go within. Yeah, that little bit of dispassion comes from knowledge. Yeah, knowledge gives dispassion. My meditation goes little deep, but then it stops. Then I have to work a little more on knowledge and get deeper into knowledge. Then meditation becomes deep, but then again it stops. Because it stops till the point you have knowledge. Beyond that, your mind comes up, Maya comes up, ignorance comes up. You can't go deeper into your meditation. Have you noticed?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Very good point.
The more knowledge I go deeper into, my meditation goes deeper. More knowledge, meditation goes deeper. A point will come where you have to just close your eyes, 2 minutes, and you're zoom. And that's it. In 2 minutes, you're done with meditation. You don't have to sit for hours together. Because just closing your eyes you're so completely cut off from the external world and the thoughts of the external world, you experience that pure depth within, the pure silence within. Yeah, that shunyata comes like this.
So during that Bhagavad Gita session, you were talking about stop feeding that ego. That was like a magical word for me. As soon as I hear that, suddenly everything stops. The thought, it's like kind of shunyata is you're
Yes.
hitting that.
Yes. So all this is feeding the ego, notions also. There's nothing but I. I have created the notion not only about others, I have created the notion about I. Yes, and I hold on to these notions. The holding on to the notions itself is feeding the ego. Yeah? Being ready to let go any moment. Are you ready to let go this moment? Are you ready to die here and now? Abhi. Not because I'm saying.
Only सबसे बोलने का
Okay,
But
if
no.
you say so.
No.
Die physically?
Yes.
Basically.
This is it. Are you ready? Yes, I'm ready to go. This moment.
मेरे बच्चों का क्या होगा? मेरी मम्मी का क्या होगा?
हाँ.
मेरा कर्मास क्या होगा?
Gulab jamun.
We hide behind bachas and mummies and
So, like you
we
said.
hide behind that.
Yeah. Recognize this thing. I create this in my own head. How will this person do without me? How will that person do without me? Oh, I've not made a will. Where will all the money go? All silly things can come up. Anything comes up. Just, this is all a creation of my own mind. Yeah? That's exactly what will happen at the point of death with you then. Any moment be ready to die. Koi baat nahi. This is it. If you think your will is coming in the way, please make a will. Be done with it. Yeah? If you think your family or somebody is in the way, try to make them self-sufficient, independent. Yeah? Cut off all reasons that your mind can give you. Why are you waiting for tomorrow? Do you know you're going to live? You don't know, na? Why aren't you doing this right now? Why are you postponing it? It's also a responsibility in a way. Yeah? Your child, your parent is your karma, isn't it? You came into this world, into this particular body, into this particular life to exhaust that karma. Your biggest karma is your parent or your child, if you've realized this by now. It's the longest karma.
You're with them the longest.
Yes. Yeah.
I guess you can plan, but it is the toughest part to let
Yeah,
go
be
right
done
now.
with it. Do everything possible. Don't think, oh, I will, after 20 years, create this bank account for him or her and give him this or that. Do it right now and be done with it. So, in your head, get moksha from that karma. The thing is, you are carrying the burden of that karma by saying, oh, I'm responsible for this person. Iska kya hoga? Get it done. Even if it requires some planning and getting it done in the next few days, if it's something which cannot be done immediately, get it done. Because it's nibbling at you. Yeah? It's not giving you freedom. Yeah? Be done with it. ASAP. Yeah? I am ready to die. You should be like that.
No, we did our wills 2 years back, and it's such a relief that every time we leave the children, because US laws are different when if something happens to you, the children goes in government's custody or whatever till an official person comes, and that used to bother us for such a long time. And we did our basic will, not like too much in detail, but 2 or 3 years back, and it's such a big relief. It's like it's okay. No matter what happens to us, our kids are always going to be safe, in safe hands.
Okay. After that, have you dropped worrying about this? Are you ready to die?
Absolutely.
ऐसा आंसर आना चाहिए. Absolutely. Yeah. This moment, because you don't know, you don't have a guarantee. Yes. These notions also that I have about, oh no, I am going to live so long. My astrologer told me.
रेखा लंबा है थोड़ा.
हाँ, रेखा लंबा है.
या हम लोग वो बकेट लिस्ट बनाने के पीछे रहते हैं. वो बकेट लिस्ट को पूरा कभी नहीं करने के पीछे रहते हैं.
Bucket list is a Maya list.
ये होने के बाद ये करेंगे.
हाँ.
ये होगा तो फिर वो करेंगे.
That is also notional world. I have created a notional world. Present moment, this is all I have. I have no idea what will happen tomorrow. Yes? So be very clear. Very clear. This moment, I am ready to let go. Are you ready to let go without getting a chance to go home and see your beloved? Or your child?
Yes.
Yes? अगर thirst रही, yes, and अभी death होती है, what will happen immediately? You'll want to go home. You could die outside, but you'll want to go home. And that's where you miss the window of liberation. You're seeing this? You don't realize only the body is gone. That is exactly what he's mentioning here. Drop notions. Recognize that these are notions and I'm holding on to them. Cut, 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 cut. The permanency of the world is also an illusion. In the dream state, what is really a brief moment is experienced by the dreamer as a lifetime. You've experienced this? Yeah? You see, you're born, you become old,
Whole dream.
and you die. You see your entire life in just 5 minutes, man. In 5 minutes, the entire lifetime passed away. Yeah? When you move on to the other side, what is the meaning of that time difference? Our human years, 6 months is a day
A
over
day,
there,
day.
and 6
Night.
months is a night.
Night.
That is the meaning of this. When you move on to the other side, that is when you die and move on towards Pitraloka, you look down and you're like, oh, that was so crazy, what a dream. Get it? That's exactly the same feeling that you get when you get up after 8 hours of dreaming, if you dream for 8 hours. That's exactly the same feeling. Oh, what a weird dream. So long, so much happened. Yeah? It seemed like forever. It seemed like 80 years, but it will just be whatever.
Few nights, few days.
Few days. Got it?
So I started doing this for the last 2 years. During the holidays, I take some time off and write what all has happened in the last 1 year. Good, bad, happy, sad, whatever. And then at the end, you feel so much has happened. You don't even it feels like it happened 25 years ago, 30 years ago. Just that it's so powerful. Just revisit whatever has happened even in 1 year.
Yeah. Don't store these things.
Just put it out in the internet.
Okay. Yeah. But then when you hold on to certain memories, journals and all people write, and then the revisiting, what does revisiting do?
Conscious to
The
subconscious.
sensations,
Yes.
the sensations come out again.
Again and again, again and
Relive the
again.
thing.
So what he's doing is not bad, but then after that the shredding part, the burning part, remember we did it in Kena Upanishad?
Yeah.
The deleting part, forgiving people, forgetting, letting it go, that part is very important, the samarpan, the surrender part is very important. So fantastic exercise, but not revisiting after the samarpan.
Once I publish, it's out in the world. I don't go back.
You don't see.
Nobody else reads.
It'll come back. Whatever is there in the internet always comes back.
With additions, like if somebody edit and send it back to you, you would have write like this. Maybe you would think, oh, I write like that.
Delete. Delete button is very important. There should be a delete button here. Delete. Erase the past. Let go. Holding on only creates more notions. In a mirage, only the illusory water is seen and not the substratum. Even so, in a state of ignorance, one sees only the illusory world appearance, but not the substratum. Yeah. So, the world is nothing but a mirage, and we cannot really see the substratum right now. But when you move on to the other side, you will be like, oh, that was just a mirage. It was nothing else. However, when one has shed that ignorance, the illusory appearance vanishes. Even the man who is normally subject to fear is not afraid of an imaginary tiger. The wise man who knows that this world is not but a notion or imagination is unafraid of anything. We've done this in Ashtavakra Gita. The quality of an enlightened is abhaya. Yeah? No fear of anything. Yeah? So you don't have to die and move on to the other side to realize this is a mirage. Yes? When you get enlightened, when you are a Jivan Mukta while still in this body, you realize, oh, this is all a dream. I can see it so clearly. Yes? And that person is unafraid. Are you afraid of your dreams? How funny. Are you afraid of the ghost that came in your dreams?
Actually, when we were sleeping.
Yeah, now that's what happens when you get enlightened or you recognize, oh, this is all a dream. And you're not afraid of that tiger in your dream because it's just a dream. Yeah? Abhaya. Yeah? A quality of the enlightened. When one knows that the world is nothing but the appearance of oneself, of whom need one be afraid? When one's vision is purified by inquiry, one's deluded understanding concerning the world vanishes. So, the key is inquiry. Yeah. So you were saying, no, you have to be so sharp, so aware to let go of this notion in the middle. Yeah, that is inquiry. Is this really what it is, or is he like this? Yeah, I am thinking he is like this. Am I seeing this really clearly, or are these my own colored glasses? If you wear red color glasses, you are going to see red, but the other person is not red, or the light is not red on the other side. So you have a colored vision. You have to recognize, I have to take off the glasses and see it as it is. And who can do that? Only I can do it. Nobody can help me. Can that person help me? That is why so many times people keep telling you, that is not what I meant. Why can't you hear what I am saying? Why do people say that? You just go on thinking what you want to think. You're not listening to what I am saying. This is the meaning of those colored glasses being in between.
And also have to listen or hear what I want to hear.
Exactly. Or I interpret what I want to hear. He's saying something, she's saying something, but I am interpreting what I want to hear. Yeah? Or I'm interpreting because of my notion. Oh, he's been mean to me last time. This time also he's mean to me. So what he wants to say is really this. So there is no implied meaning there. You're getting me wrong. No, I know there is an implied meaning. Yeah, don't Don't you do this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Notions. Colored glasses.
It's
Even
not
before-
just hearing. There were several experiments done. Says event happens, accident happens, and there's all these people around. Just seeing, everyone saw it differently. There were no two people who saw the same thing because of their notions. Everyone, even the sights, not just hearing. What you see is also based on your notions.
Absolutely.
They in fact say eyewitnesses are actually most unreliable because we know when the accident or whatever incident happens and when they actually give evidence is so far apart. They have concorded and made their own story. between-
Exactly.
So the
And
best
that-
lawyers are the ones who know to pick the right jury. They just advocate. Because nothing is real. They know how to pick the
They
right
have to
jury.
create that real.
So this happened today. I texted Ekta. She wanted me to send a document to someone. And I was like, Ektaji, give me a few days to get the newer format of the document ready. She said, okay. Then in my head, I was like, I was very disrespectful. So I was like, I meant to say, please give me a few days. Because I created this notion, right? That this came up wrong, I should correct it.
And all I said, okay.
And then like, "Vidhar mein okay."
It's true, right? You read an email, you say, and
How
it's
you
something
interpret
that's
it.
contentious, and if you're mad, you read that email, all you see is why everything in that is wrong and how somebody may have attacked you. Go back to 24 hours later, you're like, what was I thinking? It's one of the most innocent emails in the world, and you put that whole perspective of how you were perceiving that.
Because you were in different state of mind.
Yeah,
at that
because
time,
I was
when you read
confused.
that. Yeah.
Exactly.
When we read that, yeah.
Actually, that was in Patanjali, like 2.25 days. The
Yes.
same emotion is like totally changed.
Yes. So it takes 2.25 days for a cycle in you to change really. Because of that, your emotion totally gets changed. Yeah? There is also a 40 days mandala. Yeah, we'll talk about mandalas also as we go ahead in Buddha. But in 40 days, yeah, something if you follow for 40 days, you will continue it for the rest of your life. If you break it in the 40 days, you will never be able to continue. That is why in happiness
Kriya.
program we say na
Happiness, 40
kriya.
days
40 days you
First
do
day,
short
40 days,
kriya.
so the short kriya.
Then you don't drop out. It's called the first mandala. Yeah. We'll talk about these things. So these
Sacred
things are very
discipline.
important. Yeah.
The Guruji is add up to this one 40 days. He said like for the smokers and all like addictions, right? If you continue to do 40 days, you're avoid you never go back to that thing. But if you miss anything in between, start from that day again 40 days try for that. So till you reach the 40 days.
No breaks.
Okay. Page done?
Yes.
That's big, half of it.
It was a good page.
3 paragraphs.
It was very good. The whole
Yeah, the
discussion of notion.
Yeah, it's very important. This is really something you should now seriously start working on. Enough reading Yoga Vasistha for fun and his good language and whatever.
No, right. The last 2 days I realized I have a million egos. All this time I thought I was one. I was like, oh, this is different. Oh, this is different. Scary. Oh, there's one.
Yeah.
There are
Can
so
ever
many.
a notion be, sorry, can ever a notion be because of your impression?
So a notion can be because of many things, but everything I am responsible for. So my impression also is nothing but my memory created by me. So everything, is like, everything contributes to it. My ego, my memory, my beliefs, my faith, my concepts, my current understanding. Somebody else says something, that prabhava of somebody else, everything could be a big mixture of my notion. Yeah? So you recognize where it is my notions. You start working on your closest relationship first. Can I see this person as he or she is?
So when we are dreaming, like whatever we do, we don't accumulate any karmas for that, right?
Yes. So most of your dreams are nothing but already impressions of karma. I wanted, let's say a very simple thing, like I wanted to eat paratha. All day I didn't get chance to cook paratha and eat. Yeah. So in my sleep, in the night, I'm eating paratha. But how did that dream come? It's already coming from a created karma impression during the day. Got it?
Okay.
Huh? So karma impression leads to the dream. Dream does not lead to an impression. Dream is a release of certain karma impressions. Yeah? Similarly, seeing your past life is a release of certain karma impressions. Yeah? So you might see something very strong in your past life which has an effect on your current life. And suddenly it might get resolved. Yeah? Many people had some fears, many people had some pains in the body which is very tangible. Some people had a particular nature, doubting somebody, intentionally poking people's egos. Some people had that. I know few people who've said that their nature changed just because they saw something connected to that same nature in the past life. So it's a release of impressions. Yeah. Dream is nothing but a release of your impressions. It's at a very minute level compared to a past life, but it's a release of whatever in the day, few impressions are created. You fight with somebody in the daytime. Again, you remember in the night you've rewound the whole thing and created your own, how you want that to actually
want to have that
end.
Turn out, yeah.
Turn out. Not the way it turned out in the day, but how you want it to turn out. Yeah? Release. It's a release of the karma. Clear, Sakul?
Like you had said, like even in your sleeping states, you go through the Jagrat Avastha and then you dream, Sapna Avastha, and then in Shushupti you forget the dream when you come to that.
Yes.
So when that happens, the impression is still gone, or because you don't remember, the impression is still there?
It might or it might not be. It depends on how attached you were. Yeah, it could be something related to Subbu, Sujaya. It will be a very strong attachment. It will be something related to something happening at the grocery store. It will just vanish. Yeah, just intensity of attachment determines that. Yeah.
So I have a question, Ektaji, on what is right? Sometimes it's easy to say what is and just go with it. Sometimes it's very, very hard to accept it as is, even though you keep saying what is, what is, but it doesn't go internally as deep as it should be to kind of make that feeling go away. And I kind of keep thinking of your example of how we think climate you can control, so you kind of accept as is. And even though I keep saying what is, maybe internally this deep down somewhere, I keep thinking this should change, what is, but actually this should change.
Yeah, what is it? But this should change.
I wish it could change. It is tough sometimes to just say what is.
Yes, it is tough. We spoke about the same thing in Bhagavad Gita. Yeah, this should change is what dharana?
Vyaktivadi
dharana. What is
Niyati.
Can you have feet in two boats? You have to either step this way or that way. Got it? Your problem is one foot is in this boat, one foot is in this boat. You are definitely going to drown. No option there. Got it? Get into one boat. What is means really what is. And there's really nothing I can do about it. Yeah? When you completely surrender, yeah, in a way you feel moksha also. It's not in my hands. I've done the action. After that, I'm done. There's no need to keep galloping in your head. This should happen or that should happen. I did it this way. That is why this should be the result. You're constantly galloping. That creates feverishness. Yeah, that galloping is also that notional world you are building between you and that thing, whatever it was.
Yeah, it's kind of in waves that you kind of go with what is, but then for a little bit of time you kind of change, depending on the situation, and then you kind of go back to what is. So
it'll take some practice. Yeah. Aren't you guys feeling that moving from Vyaktivadi to Niyativadi is this challenging thing?
Some are more than the others,
Yeah.
but again, it's practice.
Yeah, it is just practice. You have to really recognize that you are just an instrument. Yeah? And it is happening through you. If it wouldn't happen through this body called Shalini, it would happen through another body called another name. But that action had to happen. Yeah? That particular event had to happen. It was due. Yeah? So whether it was good or it was bad, it's got nothing to do with me. It's done, it's done. Yeah? Nimitta matra. Just be an instrument. Yeah? And let what is. That does not mean I sacrifice action. Right? I do what needs to be done, and after that drop the feverishness. The feverishness in the mind creates more and more notions. Clear? Yes. Work on it. There is no other shortcut. Yeah? Okay. Any other questions? Any other questions? Chalo guys, I'll see you next week. Yeah? Chalo. Jai Guru.
Jai Guru. Jai Guru.